championship.
It feels that way right now, right? And it's a little bit strange maybe to see some of our like better teams that have a lot of experience and challengers struggle, I guess, in that game mode. But at that same point, it's like, well, maybe they haven't refined a lot of their strategies. Talking about that with Fisher, it feels like, you know, players like Rex and Gunzy, they've been a part of that throughout a lot of the year. But Silly and Ramby, they're struggling maybe to get on the same page sometimes. So that's something they have to figure out very quickly, especially, again, versus this team, because do not mess around in that game mode.
That's the small tease. Let's take a moment to introduce our squad, starting off with the team we just saw on broadcast. It's the Fisher Falcons.
Successful enough to be down to 10 seconds to get to A as fast as you can. Guns is simply so annoying in your back line, and that's going to be the round. You can look at those green arrows on the minimap looking for the rotation for P2. They were not able to get this last time around, so they put a little bit more emphasis, but still fall flat on their face. Look at that, Gunzy and Rex. Just an unstoppable duo right now.
Biggest statement we can make is the fact that, yeah, Gunzy and Rex came out just wanting it more in that first opening series. The thing is, it's a long lower bracket run for either of these two teams if they want to see the grand finals again. You can't run out of steam. You can't overheat, as we like to say it, over the last year, especially considering some of the things we saw at Toronto with squads that were trying to do almost the exact same thing. So now it's just down to kind of keeping yourself composed and finding a way to get all four members on the same page as you, because this is not going to be, I think, a bracket that's won by 2 out of the 4 players.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just keep expecting Gunzy to 1v3 in the last moment and, you know, drop 16 kills in S&D. Like, that's absurd. So you need some additional support to come through. I will say Ramby was a little bit more involved in the search and destroys, but you expect Ramby to always be involved in search and destroy. Yeah. So I think you really need to call on some of these players, you know, like Silly, who had a couple of good games. You need to see that consistency. It is needed against this Dragons roster.
Well, perfect segue. On the other side, the University of North American Dragons squad that very much so knows very much about one another. Let's take a look and meet the Dragons.
Sooner through the glass panel. Gonna be able to take down Mazo, and the flank secured by Decimace for the second kill required in the last
especially with the head glitches that Slapex and Co did have inside old. So, last 10-15 seconds going the way of the Dragons. Maybe the rotation will go well as well. Zuna on the transition from Noob will be picking up 2 kills.
University of North America is a squad that we really didn't see too much throughout the entirety of the season on broadcast, but the thing that we know about it is the fact that 3 of these 4 guys make up that D1 gaming roster, and that's one of the things that we're looking forward to, obviously, for things like Challengers, Finals, and Vegas. But I will say, the time that we got a chance to watch them play Northwood yesterday, they really weren't checking all the boxes.
Oh, were they ever, man? I think this is a very fun and exciting team to watch. They've been stepping up in a big way. I think you look at the subs, I mean, overall, we've seen Desmace as well as Aaron have a couple of just incredible maps against some of these top teams. And I would also say that Lucho right now, I'm confident to say that he's probably the best sniper in the tournament that we currently have, man. He has been incredible.
Yeah, it's a really strong call. I like that. Here we go. Let's take a look at our best of 5, see exactly where these two teams will square off, and if that sniper rifle will come into play. And it looks like we're going to get a Hotel Mercado to things off. So a different look here for Fisher off of the opening hardpoint. Expo will beat it. Both teams have played it almost every single time. That Hydro keeps sneaking into the mix as well for our hardpoints. I mean, we said this yesterday, and I think it really does ring true. These teams are used to just being the better squad. And what map is better for that than a map like Hydro Hardpoint? So lots of experience in the regular season for both these teams, and really all the teams that are still left. Expect to see a lot more of that. But the Hotel Hardpoint, haven't seen a lot of it on the weekend, and in particular in the opening sets of the bracket play, we didn't have it at all. So this is going to be an interesting, I think, battleground to see who comes out on top and takes the early edge.
I like it. They're also swapping up the embassy, right? This is something we've seen the Dragons throw into the rotation quite a bit this weekend. Haven't always been able to top it, but now going to try their hand here at the hotel. A chance to really try to put Fisher away. They've played so many close respawns, but it's always about those final moments. It feels like there's just one thing that tends to go wrong, whether that's the spawns, whether that's the rotations, whatever it is, that needs to be cleaned up. But now we're jumping into it. Here we go. Dragons up against Fisher Esports.
Also important to note that in this series, these two teams played each other for the top seed to finish off their groups. The Hotel, the Expo, and the Hydro were all a part of that series. Both the respawns, both the hardpoints went the way of Fisher. So that's something to kind of keep in the back of our mind, see if the Dragons have learned their lessons and closed what was only about a 55-point gap between them and a chance to win it. How about that little snapper from Zuner? University of North America looking good to just neutralize the time for now, but they still hold on to the right side of the minimap, so all things told, the rotation looks pretty solid for them.
It certainly does. Joe will be cut down here through Connector, and now you can start to see a bit of a push through the back. A lot of responsibilities for Desmaze to try to see if he can anchor the back, but he's likely got a sub in hand, so he's just gonna simply post up in a corner. Meanwhile, Gunzy getting great work done around P1. Fisher Esports already able to come out with about 30 seconds.
And now a little bit of pressure on this rotation. Ramby from the back doors. First sun in towards Spa. Denied. University of North America will not have the opening time, but a chance to try to block and flip the spawns around here with just one gunfight in the back. Silly going to be tested from mid, getting a lot of damage done. Teammates there to help him out, and Silly will, with the help of teammates, clean everything up. Fisher hold the first 20.
Oh, what a moment it is here for them. Able to get 30 seconds off of P1 and now can maybe even run away with a bit of a lead on P2. Necessary break needs to come on in. Desmond is able to open up with that trade onto Ramby, but now you have to get through Silly. 3 in a row. What can he get up to? Trophy system, keeping everyone safe. Good shots over the top will allow them to get a foot in, but will not allow a full-on break. And now it feels like this should be a full lockdown for Fisher Esports and Gunzy. Well, he's in another.
Yeah, Lucho's just looking to finesse the exit, but he's not going to be allowed to. So a massive start here for Fisher. All 4 members really stepping into their roles nicely. Despace trying to clear up the bottom side of the minimap while the rest of his team focuses on Kitchen. But an off spawn here for Lucho off of his last elimination means that he's going to be behind this Fisher play. And now all of a sudden, Fisher should know this. They need to try to burst and go quickly. Trophy system goes down. Nades are trying to work their way in, but this is taking time. And now Lucho's behind the play. Aaron able to hold things out from the front. There is a chance for a break, but yeah, University of North America completely stuff it. Good awareness of Lucho to get to the play quick.
You needed that. Well, Lucho can also try to find some great kills out front of the point now. He's going to be able to put together 3, sub in hand, and will reinforce. So a chance really to work themselves back into the game. 30 seconds left, and a little bit of a staggered push as Desmond is able to grab himself a double. Zuner also getting involved. This has just been push after push denied. And now we'll see what should be the scrap time, honestly, going over here. A big 20 seconds, and they're already flying the new
Fisher just kind of was optically stuck in mid. Just did not have a chance to put many numbers for the break. They didn't commit to playing for the rotation, and now they're not just losing the scrap, they're losing the setup for new. Desme is on 3, shut down. Rex gets the job done. Gunzy trying to push forward. Lucho waiting for a mid-desk. That's an opportunity to keep this hard point neutral. Good shots from Rex, but not enough to take Lucho out of this position. Finally, Ramby flushes him out. Fisher will have the hard point and the spawns, but you've got UONA playing really fast and really closely, setting up their next break attempt.
Oh, Zuner also able to earn himself the cruise missile here, and now he's also a part of this break attempt. He's able to get reception. Might have a chance to get some angles, and there it is. He finds Silly. Ramby gives him a chow, and well, that is the easiest 2-piece he'll ever find. 8 in a row now for Zuner, up to 11-4 in total. That's another great break as the Dragons try to keep themselves in the game.
The biggest thing about it is they're punishing Fisher for these small mistakes, which is really, I think, what we saw yesterday, and it's definitely come here to play early today. Zuner still on 8, just snake pit, just killing time, waiting for teammates' help, but they're not really able to. Lucho, Despace still holding on to the hard point. Silly try to get a finesse in, but not going to work out. Last one left would be Rex. He gets the first, but Despace up close. Faznev out. Going to get pre-fired and eventually denied, but you give up 8 seconds worth of time. Not terrible whatsoever. And once again, you look towards the minimap. It's the Dragons on rotation, set up for Restaurant.
And this is one of the few teams it feels like we've seen this tournament that can just chain hills together that should not be chained together,
Correct.
right? We've seen this on a lot of different maps. And another moment where they're able to get to the restaurant first. So this push needs to be successful from the back. We'll see if it will work out for them. Nate's coming over the top. Still be looking for an angle in, but he is just not going to get a good look at it. And from the back, Ramby is now also shut down, so they can turn all their attention to the kitchen. This has been a beautiful hold here thus far.
Where's the support? Where's the help? The nades start coming through. You don't have the double peaks coming out, and the Dragons are ripping apart Fisher in these last 3 hills. Despa's on the close corner. Silly meets him, but the trade is instantly there. I mean, everything goes trades for University of North America. 20 seconds still to fight for. They're looking good for it. Sure, Fisher are set up trying to deal with the rotation, but they're not even going to try to contest the exits.
This is insane. These last 3 hills have just been controlled from University of North America. Now you have to find a stop inside the kitchen, but another big 1v1. Still a lot more to do, and well, finally the kills looking a little bit convincing here for Fisher Esports. Ramby comes away with a double, and now in the point. Lucho able to come up the back stairs, deletes the trophy, and he's putting pressure on time. His teammates starting to get close as well.
They're going to be here from the front. Despace makes sure he also clears it. Silly gets one that will get at least one member of the Dragons out of the hard point, but Despace! Good help from Aaron. They're going to go 2v3, hold on to the hard point, and more kills through mid-map. Fisher, I mean, did they eat their lunch too fast? Is this one of those don't swim for 30 minutes after digesting type things? Because they look in the slog right now.
I mean, this has been 4 consecutive hills in a row, all controlled by the Dragons. Fisher Esports might be able to get this 20 seconds, but Zuner throws himself back in. Kills are still pretty solid. Unfortunate teammate, but it might not mean anything. Finally, Rambi able to clean up 2. So they're rewarded with 10 seconds, but man, oh man, those last 4 hills were incredible from the Dragons to grab control of this hotel.
Yeah, they've got a really significant lead built. All you need right now is just chip away at this first hard point, lock down P2, and you pretty much win the game. Atrium opens up. Tough gunfight here. Aaron, last shot, deals with Gunzy. Rex getting a double, but he cannot push any further forward. He's still playing backside pond, and as he gets traded out, now it's just Rambi left alive. I mean, it just feels like every time you look at the minimap, the numbers are 3v2s, 2v1s in favor of the Dragons. Team name doesn't help that either for Fisher. They still are able to neutralize the hill, and decent from Silly to be able to do just that. But, man, I'll tell you, it just never feels like Fisher, since the opening breakoff, have had a handle on any of these gunfights.
Well, they have had a handle on Gunzy, though. He's 9-17, right? Like, how critical has he been to the success of Fisher through all game modes? Has not been able to get involved. Aaron not going to turn. And, well, Rambi just runs right up to him and puts the dagger in the back. Says, thanks for the freebie. So, Com's not really there. Does give a chance for Fisher Esports, again, to have maybe a good P1, P2. Yeah. This is where they were able to collect a lot of their time.
Gunzy needs to start warming up from this position. This is, you would assume, at least a killing spree from someone with his skill in this position. Trophy system down. Gunzy deletes it. Septex goes out. Tested him close. Deals with that. No worries. Long range versus Aaron. Yep, it's just pretty much a walking killing spree. Lucho does get the elimination, but it comes at a very steep cost. Fisher will get the first 15 seconds. They will not hold on to the spawns, though. Desmates gets around the back. Rambi flushes him out. 4 in a row for Rambi, who's really been doing a lot of the legwork here for Fisher.
Yeah, he's really stepped up in a big way here for them, and we have not seen this whatsoever from Rambi, it feels like, outside of S&D. He's going to come all the way around the back, 5 in a row. Chance to earn a cruise missile for himself. Won't be able to fully commit to Desmond. Oh, he just gives him a bit of a reach out, and, well, Gunzy finishes off the trade. But Fisher Esports, they lock in a full 60, and, well, Gunzy's already able to get a lot of space. Pushes all the way up, but he is all alone.
It's a really solid read, though, on these couple of UONA players are on the back. And he runs out of dead sound, so he'll hold his ground for now. You can see the Dragons know he's back here. Players at mid are looking for him. The players inside the hard point are waiting for him. But Fisher, regaining the lead, need to put together a rotation before Gunzy can make much of a move. He's going to have to wait for this hit from the front. So keep your eye on number 3 in white. Aaron's going to be the one who gets a read on this. Gunzy still waiting for a chance to come through. Aaron does get one as called. Still an opportunity for more, and Gunzy just gets flat out red. There's just never a chance. Big shout out to Aaron for holding from the front, but now Silly on 4. He'll get to 5. Big break for Fisher. They will get back in the lead again.
Yeah, excellent coordination coming through Gunzy. I mean, he stays alive back there for what felt like 30 seconds, and buys time for his teammates to get there. Rex has a sub in hand, won't be able to get back safely, so maybe still an opportunity to try to break on in, but it is a 2 versus 3 here. Dragons with a man disadvantage, just hoping to try to come up with some big kills, and, well, not looking great so far. Gunzy putting together 2, and now Gunzy's also working back into this game.
Here's that ice that we're talking about. University of North America will set up for their next hill. You've got Aaron playing forward. Desmates watching through mid, and then the flank being watched by Zuner. But number 6 in blue, Silly, is kind of sneaking in towards mid, and as Rex finds this kill from the front, this is the time for Silly to go, and yeah, well done. Timing is perfect. Desmates does get from the trade, and then he gets a second. Hardpoint still in control of Fisher for now, but the numbers should surely start to go the way of the Dragons. Zuner trying to work on for the contest. Rambi dealt with one more player up close and personal, and well won by Zuner. 242 to 212, Dragons in the hill.
Oh, spots in the back looking solid, but you can still see Fisher members able to get themselves into contest. Buying time is Gunzy. Gunzy chows out. How about that double?
No way.
Making a triple. Last one up is Aaron, and Gunzy finds them all. What a way to close it out. What a way to bring it back.
I mean, Gunzy's having kind of a stinker until the last 3 hard points, and just like it happened against St. Clair, he one-ups himself. It's one of those, you know, you're on the Price is Right, I'll bet $1. And Gunzy says, I'll bet $2. It just completely trumps his own move. Unbelievable. I mean, those last 3 hard points, where was that the entirety of the game? Because clearly Fisher have the ability to play at that level. But boy, it was a slow start. They pick up a lot of it, I think, saved by Rambi in the first place, though sure the heroics at the end will always be claimed by Gunzy, but Rambi was the only reason they were in that game in the first place.
Agreed, yeah, and again, you know, coming back to my point I made halfway through that map, that is not something that we've seen whatsoever from Rambi throughout this entire weekend, right? Again, just a couple performances here and there through the S&Ds, But other than that, it feels like he has not exactly been that factor, or maybe that's because Gunsy just cleans up everyone on the map. Not too sure, but he does make up for it. He steps up in a big way to at least make sure they're still competitive, and they have a couple of really nice breaks, especially in that P3 hill inside of Kitchen. That one was really required if they wanted to make sure they were still in control of that game.
24-19 with 21 non-traded by Ramby. 2,300 damage. That was met and bested by Silly, who goes 18 kills with 12 assists. Talk about being all over the map. Also almost had 2 minutes of hardpoint time. So Fisher survive again. And that's another one of those situations. We talked about this with St. Clair. The Dragons, I'm sure, feeling something similar where it's just like, man, we were right there, had him against the wall, but could not keep him there. And now we go to a Mercado search and destroy. Fisher lost this map versus Oklahoma Christian, and it is a unique map for when these two teams had played in their group stage match for seeding, because they both were 2-0 when they met for their third. So this is a new look, but Fisher, their only real search wins that we've been able to talk about have been really, up until what they just did versus St. Clair, was against this U of NA team. So different map, different circumstances, but U of NA, you feel like, again, you missed a chance right there. You got to follow up and be able to take this search and destroy.
I agree with you, and I mean, this has just been the story all weekend long for these guys when they play some of our top seeds here in CCL LAN. Just have not really been able to get the job done in the final hill. Same story repeating, but S&D, this is where they've at least been very, very good. We saw how they were able to contest Northwood on one of their best maps yesterday in Search and Destroy. So we know that they have the ability to get the job done, and while their prep also seems to be on point when it comes down to trying to figure out where players like to go and what their tendencies are. And it's also a little bit easier to do that versus a team that doesn't have as many reps playing with each other,
fair,
because you like to throw yourself in comfortable positions, and oftentimes that is similar positions you've already played in previous rounds as well.
Just out of curiosity, because we have not had this conversation point, looking at this U of NA squad, considering that it is the majority of D1 Gaming who, again, will be there for Challengers Finals, has this event maybe turned your mindset of, as far as what their expectations would be at Challengers Finals? Because let's be honest, like, they're playing up against very similar caliber players, and at the moment, it's kind of like we talked about yesterday with that Mexico team, that Hive team that was all Latin American representatives. They play clinical Call of Duty, no matter what the mode. Has this kind of opened your eyes a little bit to what their potential could be at finals as well?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely they have. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect for them, because it really did feel like we had the idea coming in that, well, maybe it was a softer region. You know, this record that they have, is it really consistent based off of what we're seeing through all the other ones? I feel like absolutely yes. And it's the mechanics that you're kind of seeing out of some of these guys, and as well as just like intelligent plays. Like something that Rex said is like, these guys are tough reads because they don't just ego chow you all the time. They play their lives really well. And we love to throw that term around in the COD scene where it's like they play really ratty, like to sit in corners, right? But it's good Call of Duty at times, and I think they really step up in those ways for sure.
Got to use the maps as they're designed to be used.
Exactly.
We know what the conversation points have been for Activision lately, so hey, why not? Just go ahead, use the best of your ability to keep your life, keep on finding kills, keep on stringing them together. We saw that in the hard point. We've seen it, like you mentioned, continually in the Search Destroy. Yeah, lots of things to be excited about for this U of NA squad, whether they go as the Dragons or eventually as D1 Gaming. Still waiting for map number 2, Mercado Search Destroy. I think the biggest thing about this, and you hit on this a touch, was the fact that they didn't just play Northwood close on their best Search and Destroy based on our assumptions, beat them in around 11, and they actually forced a lot of critical errors from that Northwood team. You have to think that that's going to be somewhat the case here as well, right? Like, if you want to be able to take down this this Fisher squad, you got to make mistakes.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely right. And the way that they could do that is kind of by getting Lucho out, you know, with that scope, I think at times, especially through that mid lane, try to set up maybe some of those aggressive routes through tunnel. It feels like Desmaze as well as Aaron, you know, they're going to be really responsible for making sure Gunsy just doesn't go on these crazy sprees, because it feels like whenever Fisher Esports is finding a lot of favor, it's when Gunsy's just dropping ridiculous numbers. So if you find a way maybe to trade him out or stop him from trying to get aggressive and having the confidence to kind of hit Cantina over and over again, or try to hit through mid, whatever that might be, that could be your window to try to shut these guys down. But overall, I think that these guys just play so well with one another. And the thing about it, too, is we touch on the fact that Lucho's a great sniper and might be the best one in the tournament, but he throws it out, like, here and there.
Right.
Like, it's not like he's running it round after round after round, right? He throws it out in round 1 and then brings it back in round 10. So that really does kind of throw you for a bit of a loop when you're playing up against that. We'll see if it comes into play heading into Mercado.
Players are all set. Fist bumps are out. Fly through on your screens. Gives us the idea that we are loading on in. Map number 2. Critical map here for the side of the University of North America and the Dragons. You win this one, everything goes back to level footing. You drop this one, that means you have to work through another set of respawns against a very difficult Fisher squad. Definitely possible. Don't rule them out, but it starts with this one here, trying to get this thing back to a 1-1 count. Lucho will be sniping right off the rip, and it's right down middle, but he is actually pushed off. Rex was watching the angle the whole way through. Desmaze hitting through tunnels still allowed the opportunity to cut in towards A. This could lead to a very early plant.
That's exactly what I called, right? Even if Lucho doesn't find a good first kill, it does open up the site. Bit of a double flank. It's also now shrugged all the way back here, so it'll be interesting to see how Lucho decides to position. He's going to be responsible for watching this flank, but now everyone about to group up, ready to try to retake Cantina.
Ooh, and Silly may actually try to go a little bit further up towards Barbershop here. He's thinking about it. This could lead to a very dynamic set. Rex sniping on one side. Oh, and he gets a second. Desmaze was about to double up on everything. Aaron coming back to the play. Last one left. Hits the dead silence that he's been able to earn. Rex up close and personal. Gunzy already on for the defuse. Aaron's got to go. He's got to check in. Does he get there in time? He stops the defuse. Everything resets. Clock going to favor him to make the play. And yep, he's going to kill off just enough time. Hell of a play from Aaron to get the opener.
Oh, what a little 1v3 that is, man. Finds the first kill, dodges out on the stun. That's the critical part of that, is the stun check comes through, you know, wondering, is he still here? Is he laying down with a submachine gun, waiting for me to fly through this door? And Rex in a position where he's just got to guess, you know, where's this guy flying out of? Is it balcony? Is it down low? Unfortunately, Rex does guess wrong. What a play that is from Aaron. Great usage of the Deddy.
Wow. It looked like for the moment, I mean, you called it, that little double flint that was coming through the B site for the side of Fisher. They may have seen Lucho on that heady over here to the backside of parking lot and said, nope, can't go that way. I don't think it's going to take too long, but that wasn't the win condition at the end of the day. And now Rex sniping, and yeah, that's enough information for Aaron to say not interested in middle anymore. So Fisher will at least be able to own that lane, at least in hyperbole, as Ramby starts to make his way forward and Gunzy considers trying to make a play for the plant.
Feels like a lot of this play is going to have to come from Desmaze on this flank, and the timing could be beautiful for them. Aaron also starting to work his way into the site. Stun is going to lock up Silly, but Ramby with some great assistance will make sure that kill does come through. Desmaze now going to reposition, likely look to come through tunnel. This bomb has still not been planted, and there's still plenty of time to work with as well for Fisher.
Oh, and Gunzy gives up the angle just as soon as the cross comes through, but the deep catch. Desmaze on that cross doesn't make a difference. He finds the kill. Oh, it just feels too passive for Fisher, doesn't it? Although Lucho does actually line up Desmaze as well as finding Gunzy, so it becomes a little bit more plausible that Rex could maybe find the 1v2. But, man, I'll tell you, it just felt like Fisher were waiting to see if the Dragons were going to push into them. And they said, no, we're good, thanks. You guys could keep just letting the clock run out, because that was ending really, I think, just kind of kept the pedal on for what Fisher had to do. And Desmaze just kind of finesses the map for forever.
Sure does, man. He hits that flank, just keeps one person kind of looking at him. Repositions, goes right back to mid, but it's also how fast he does it just to get back into that play. And a little bit of unfortunate timing may be happening for Gunzy, but it allows Desmaze to fully take advantage and secure the rounds. 2-0 up right now. The Dragons looking solid in S&D, as we've been seeing through a lot of this weekend. Now we'll see if they can put together another as they head right back over to A.
Those nades are landing, by the way, to the side of the University of North America. Gunzy does get the top wanting. Zuner ready for it, takes the jump peek, finds the win. And now Silly is going to have to really put together a sturdy defense. He's working alongside Rex, but Aaron already popping up. This could be an easy double. Doesn't quite find the shots, though. Oh, no! How is that unfolded? Fisher looked like they were dead to rights, but a late nade comes out. It may have been a friendly nade, in fact.
It might have been.
And he's not able to peek through Hut, and then Silly eventually gets the intel and cleans him up.
I think you're right, because Silly's, I mean, he ate a nade right before he got the final kill, so yeah, I think the nade tagged him, and that stopped him from wanting to launch himself forward, right? We see players get into a position like that with a sub, and while it almost always feels like you're able to put together one, if not two. And I was about to come in and praise them for having the ability to shut down Gunzy, you know, making sure that he is not finding kills at Cantina, not getting into Cantina and locking it down. But the AR is coming up big for a critical round.
Oh, that trophy system does not do its job. Silly gets tagged by a nade. Fisher are slow to make their way in towards Cantina. It won't end up impacting the round, though. The Dragons are not looking to threaten this defensively, opting to play retake here at A. And you can already see it. Desmaze on one side of the map is, again, clearing things out through B. Aaron's looking over towards mid, and Lutro's just going to watch for a cross on this corner here. Stun lands. But the bomb is planted, and now who's the catalyst here? Is it Desmaze on the flank, or are you going to double hit this from the front?
Oh, they're going to go for a double team.
I don't like
And,
that.
oh, no, it doesn't go well. Gunzy finally on the board there for the double. Lucho does manage to actually find a snipe, but he's got to find a quick scope on the Gunzy. And, well, not even going to have a chance to do so. Fisher Esports feel like they're able to really just cruise through that round. Very well done. Get the bomb down early.
You don't often see that type of a defensive setup for post-plant retake when you have a sniper rifle that's on the deep defensive side. More often than not, that retake starts through tunnel or by somebody hitting around the backside of the flank because the sniper rifle can only watch windows. So you have to make those players up top start to move. And that really wasn't the case. It was a double hit from the front where really there was not a lot of ground nor information to work off of. So tough retake attempt there for University of North America. Maybe a small miscue as Fisher punished. They take 2 rounds in a row. Opening in from Lucho, sent deep through mid, won't land, stun will follow, and it will be bottom Cantina control here fully for the University of North America, while once again Fisher has Gunzy working on an early flight through Barber.
All 4 players are here, and wow, Gunzy,
He's been seen.
is he going to hit this? Oh, Lucho should be able to find him. No! What a gunfight win that is from Gunzy! Are you kidding me? With the sub just rips the head right off of him. And now it just slowly falls apart. Desmace feels the need to run on out. Sooner gets one, but he's got to get them all.
How does Gunzy win that battle, bro? I mean, he was seen. Flat out. They knew he was coming. Shots were in. Just Gunzy just destroys him. So Zooner would have to go, 1v3 for the ace here. And he is not going to get good contact. Silly's already playing up and around. That will work out. Fisher for 3. I mean, dude, every time we start to look at Fisher like down and out, it's just Gunzy starts to save the day, man. It's unbelievable.
What a game on him, man. He's about to tear things up through this lower bracket if he can continue to keep this going, man. Like, those, like, it's just pure reaction. It's just pure reaction time to be able to find Lucho, who has been incredible this weekend. His shot has been great. He's been battling out some of the best ARs that we have here in the Tier 2 scene. The likes of Rex. But, man, that is just one that you gotta have, and it will cost them. 3 rounds in a row now for Fisher as they head right back over to A. Aaron, though, he's been great for this position. Can he find some kills?
Oh, and he hits the glass just as a nade explodes, so no one actually hears it, but he actually forfeits the high ground control. That actually leads to favorable trades to Fisher. You would have thought second floor Cantina would have been enough, but not the case. And Gunzy has the suspicion that someone's close by a tunnel, even follows up for the other. Just a perfect read from Fisher. And it starts to feel like it's coming apart right now. String's been pulled and the sweater's unraveling.
Certainly does feel that way at the moment. I mean, Aaron was in a position to really lock in the round again, right? It's a lot on your subs. When they're the forward one and you're investing the trophy system to make sure that they get there safely without Nate coming over the top to take him out. But Aaron just kind of hoping that he maybe catches someone down low. It doesn't work out, doesn't look the right way. So everything looking a lot better right now for Fisher Esports, man. I mean, they're playing with a little bit of confidence. I'm sure after Gunzy finds the kill that he does, he's ready to chow anything. And Rex, hit marker, and he's on 4.
Doesn't matter. Desmace trying to run through the middle lane. Shut down. I was just about to say, if you're going to change anything here for the Dragons, bring the scope back out. And that round 1 setup that they had for the offense was the call. But this time, Desmace doesn't get there. So even though we're in a 3v3, this offense is still going to look very different than it did in round number 1, not having tunnel control at the moment.
Pretty strong trophy system.
I'll say it. 3 and 4 steal.
Yeah, a lot of bullets needed, but Aaron flies out. Gunzy just not going to miss that. But Lucho still able to find Silly. He's been pretty hot with the sniper here so far. He's going to get his hands on a basket.
Look at the flip.
hand, but the timing is perfect. Gunzy for another. Now a 1v2.
That is exactly what I mean. Why is that round so different from the first? Because there's no tunnel control. So now Gunzy has the advantage. Zooter pops a dead silence, but Gunzy goes prone, clutches up the 1v1. And again, it all starts with the fact that that sniper rifle play doesn't keep Rex off the corner. Desmace gets picked, and look how Fisher used tunnel the whole way through in that defense. I mean, it seems like such a small thing, but that entire retake comes by way of tunnel. There's no more mid-map control as soon as Desmace falls, and the Dragons, who only have 2 members offensively playing towards A, they can only do so much from Cantina side. So really good awareness from Fisher. Gunzy, of course, well, par for the course at the moment for the day. That's now 5 rounds in a row for Fisher. Gunzy on 5 kills in a row. Tell me there's not a correlation there.
Oh, boy. Appears to
It's
be.
the right call, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right? Nades over the top. Only one that's going to be here is Aaron. Aaron loses the first battle. And all of a sudden, take control. Going to be immediately gained here for Fisher Esports. Chow comes through. Lucho banging open doors. And we'll be able to reposition, but it's red once again. Silly finds him. And now Zuner would have to clutch a 1v3.
That was just too much uncomfortability from the side of University of North America. Lucho's kill is an important one, but he still pushes through it. I just don't know what you expect to do as a solo defender trying to reclaim all of that elephant room in 10. So again, it just feels like we talked about this. University of North America needed to find a way to get Fisher uncomfortable, make them make mistakes. And wouldn't you know it, it's Gunsy who's making University of North America start to make some critical mistakes. So, boy, I'll tell you, that is 6 rounds straight. Gunsy finishes on 7 in a row. I mean, it's just one of those things that you look at and say, yep, this is the reason why this is happening. The comeback at hardpoint, we'll give credit to Ramby. It was mostly on Ramby keeping it up. But still,
Sure.
The game finished because of Gunsy, and this time through, it's just, yeah, I don't know. How many more times could we say his name and his impact?
His name,
Yeah.
we're going to have to get a new name,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know what we decide to call him, but he is that guy right now, man. I mean, he's 0-3 too, right? Like, he's 0-3,
Yep.
and he always has that ability to regain, bring it back. It just takes one play, and then, well, you can see the snowball going down the hill. But, boy, oh boy, he finishes 10-4, only dies one more time through those 6 rounds in a row, man. I mean, that one stings. First map didn't. This one certainly did. Just nothing going right. It really is that ice. And sometimes, the nerves really do start to set in when you get to Championship Sunday.
The first blood tally, only one for the side of University of North America, and that was in round number 1. Man, it just felt like the playbook just got exhausted too soon for the side of the Dragons.
Yes.
I mean, again, I when you lose 4 rounds in a row, I was actually happy to see them go back to that snipe play down through mid, get S-Base to push through tunnel, regain some semblance of control in the way that you had previously, but this time Rex doesn't miss. That's the only real major difference maker because he was also sniping on that first round defensively, but it's just kind of crazy how the little things can make major implications come through on the map. So with that, Fisher now find themselves up 2-0, and they continue to chip away at the calluses that we were left with after yesterday and their loss to Oklahoma Christian in a prime position to find themselves right back into the lower finals, get themselves at least a top 3 position. It's going to be a Himmelbad Expo coming up next on the backside of the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back there, friends. Maybe missed opportunities in the first 2 maps for the side of the University of North America and the Dragons as Fisher College now find themselves up 2-0 going into a Himmelbad Expo. And, of course, we can say because we watched them on broadcast, they looked real good on it in their most recent matchup that they played versus St. Clair. But based on the results, we could say the same thing about what St. Edwards faced against this University of North America team because they also 3-0'd on this map mode combo.
Yeah, they definitely did. I think even based off of what we've seen a lot of, throughout a lot of the weekend, it feels like they've been pretty decent here. I mean, even when they played up against Northwood yesterday, it wasn't really till that 4th round that they really kind of looked sloppy. But other than that, they were playing some pretty tight control rounds, so you have to expect they're going to still come out here, put up a great fight. I think the problem right now is making sure that the mental is still there, right? Because you're down 0-2, you had a great start to the Search and Destroy, you brought it back in the hard point, but it just keeps slipping through their fingertips once they get to the very end of these maps. That's something you cannot afford to do against this experienced roster that will continue to clutch up on you and close them out.
And just to re-hit it again, these 2 teams played each other in the final set of group matches. These 2 maps were the same 2 maps in the same order that they finished off their series. The Dragons taking it the first time through 3-1. They did then lose the Hydro 194-250. So already kind of small things towards the hotel hardpoint where they looked better when they had played Fisher the first time. Can they continue to build on those improvements here? Not just on the Expo, but also having to get through the Hydro hardpoint. We're about to find out. It's the opening offense for Fisher. They've got eyes and already members on the B zone.
Right, going to run right on over. Actually, going to get a good double stack in here, so this base might have to go. And, well, Silly throws an awful Semtex. Not sure if it's a stick from the back, but either way, it's going to allow a much easier retake, you would imagine, for the Dragons to come through. Just need to find the kill. Silly actually makes up for it. What a great double. What a great turn it is. And Rex is still very much alive on the point and now pushing forward.
Guns is on a route. This is exactly the timings that you want. Good stun checks coming out for the Dragons. Keep Gunsy locked into place, but he's fine working through it. Gets 2, steps away, gets control of glass. The B zone is gone. And Fisher are already making their moves on towards A. Gunzi, I think, was looking
Gotta
for
win
this
this.
little rock. Doesn't quite get there. Tries to dive in, but Aaron will get the double, shutting down the early transition.
Yeah, you could not make sure that Gunzi has a clean transition over to that A point. If so, man, it just feels like the round one might just be over just like that. But a chance to be able to get to the back. Aaron, lots to do. Can he get a read on the player up close? No, he will not. Very easy pickup for Ramby to start to work for that streak control. And now might have an opportunity to utilize the number, see if they can overwhelm. Desmaze has a lot to do himself. Gets a read on Rex. That's a great double to try to slow things down.
Great trades coming out here for the Dragons. They now retain the life lead for time, back to 20v20. But Lucho's in a great position, backside bus. Nades will keep him away from that back street. Still has a chance to re-hit this, though. Rex didn't think he was going to play through it, and Lucho, oh no! The light pole! Not like this! Looked like the easiest double you've ever seen in your lives, and ring-a-ding-ding, the light pole sends it back. And that's enough for Fisher to get out of spawn and keep the lives even.
Yeah, that's a frustrating one for sure. Man, it feels like the freest double that could have came through. You would have held on to streak control. Now you're going to have to fight for it again. Lucho off of spawn, looking to get revenge. Not going to spot Gunzi initially, but still has the heady to work with. The Semtex will also force him back, so just slowly trying to get some of this time off the clock. Down to about 50 seconds, and Lucho ready to reposition.
A great spot, but still he's read better. So now you look towards number 8. Aaron has to try to watch this cross. Gets the first one cleanly, but not the second. So Fisher will get onto the zone. Stops the clock at 44 seconds. Kills are also good to support this. 2 members on for the stack. First pick already gone. Lucho trying to make a play through Sada. Shut down. Silly. Making up for that team nade from earlier. He's now 8-3 as the second tick is locked. Aaron has to contest.
Oh, you have to get in. Aaron will be able to stop the clock. Deadspace now a part of this play. Someone's going to have to chow. Lucho good for one. Aaron there for the second, and that should be the clearance. Only one up. Going to be Ramby. Has to hold on to his life to make sure they do not get spawn trapped. 11 lives playing up against 11 lives.
Also just 33 seconds of the clock here, so lots of pressure towards Fisher to find success off spawn. Gunzi running it right down mid. Aaron shuts him down. First attempt squandered. Second one, no luck there either. Rex going to have to now do it by himself. Zuner on the staircase just kind of playing with him. And this may be good enough right here for the Dragons to lock in this defense. Desmaze makes sure of it. Rex will fall. And yeah, Fisher are not going to get out of spawn and get to the zone in time. What a defensive recovery from the University of North America. Because, boy, I'll tell you, that double stack at the really end right there looked like Fisher were just about to finish it off. But Aaron and Zuner combined for some unbelievably key kills to keep the defense alive.
Yeah, 3 separate players there, all finding some massive 1v1s to clear off the point. And, I mean, Desmaze had a lot of great moments there, too. Again, I'm going to constantly hit on this player until, well, he makes me not. I mean, it feels like he's able to find himself in good spots where he gets himself a double, he hits up trail, he's able to get right to the back. And, again, he is just so difficult to find once he gets to some of those positions. Just tucks himself in a corner, waits for sound cues, waits for information, and then is ready to pounce off of it. So, first round, good for the Dragons, but definitely had to show us some resilience to get the job done.
Aaron stays on 5 as well coming into this next round. Zuner on 4, so the potential for streaks to be built off of that heroic defense now possibly in play. Backside staircase push from Aaron. Gonna get on toward the B zone. Desmaze helps out for trades up front. Hard play still coming off though for Fisher, trying to recover this defensively. Nice next play. Rex will get one. First tick of progress on B looking pretty good though, and yeah, they will lock this in. Zuner is playing up close and personal on the front steps. And Silly's going to be the one to clear him. Pops the doors open. Zuner says, hey, how are you doing? And Silly says, I'm fine. Thanks. How are you? Zone gets cleared. And with that, second tick also being depleted, especially as Gunzi finishes off Aaron's kill.
Just the first tick locked so far. Silly's still in a really good spot to just get a good eye on this cross. Well, he's going to hear one up close. Lucho going to drop. Meanwhile, a second kill also comes on through. A lot of pressure. See if they can try to break on in. And, well, it's just not looking great here so far. Have to find some kind of bait and switch play because this spawn trap now is set up and is in full effect.
Only dropping 3 lives to this point are Fisher. 27 played, 21 Rex now on 5. And you do not want to see him looking for a streak at this position because you almost think he should be good for it no matter what. Sees Desmaze over the top, but takes a challenge. Desmaze doesn't sway from the gunfight whatsoever. Follow-up from Silly and Gunzi are still good though, and yeah, University of North America are in major trouble. 25 playing 18. Only a single tick has been earned. And Aaron, who's snuck behind, is going to have to do something immaculate.
Yeah, you're going to have to find this kill on the Silly, and he does. Maybe still a chance, but you're getting low on time. Have to stay on that point. Aaron able to get the regen off. So how does Fisher Esports decide to play this? They can come around the back. They also have pressure coming through their side of the spawn, but that second tick is now locked, so if you're going to go, it's going to have to be now.
Fisher is just going to let this happen. They've got a very far forward defense on a Silly. They're also in a good position to watch for exits, so they're thinking that with only 1 minute and 5 seconds on the clock, that will not be enough for the University of North America to stretch over towards A, especially if we don't squander and flounder here in this rotation from A. So here we go. Rex on another 4 spree. Feels like he's just walking for cruise pistols every single life, isn't he? Still playing around the backside of the offensive spawn. Gets, whoa, not one nor the other. I was about to say one, maybe the other. Not the case, and maybe a chance here for the Dragons to work their way out.
Okay, starting to find some gaps and some holes here in the setup. Gunzy, though, has a read on Aaron and will be able to find him, so play from the back, neutralize Gunzy. Good shots on the Lucho, won't finish it off, but again, forces the reposition, and this is all perfect because they're now down to 20 seconds. This might just be their final push with 10 lives left, and they've just lost Zooner.
And Gunzy's got Deathbase down low. Takes the angle, takes the challenge, wins it. 12 seconds on the clock. And I hesitated to bring this up, but now that we're coming to the finish of this defense, this is a 3v4. Ramby's got 2 kills. I mean, is he even in the game right now? Because Gunzy and Rex are just taking over. And, I mean, Ramby's just got to have his feet up, brother. I mean, he's just like, hey, just anchor these spawns, block these spawns. All right, thanks. Job done.
I will say this is something we have seen quite a bit from Ramby in some of the controls. Hasn't always been able to find success, and you know maybe that comes with the fact that control can be a little bit slower, a lot more 1v1 oriented. So clearly struggling, but maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fisher Esports only let up 3 ticks there. We'll give them a 2-tick advantage for a potential defense heading into a round 5 if we happen to get there. But now Gunzy still on 5 in a row, looking to earn that cruise missile heading into round 3.
Just put yourself in Ramby's shoes for a minute. That is a 1 gunfight 1 on an average of like 3.5 minutes.
You put it like that.
That's a lot of sitting around and doing nothing. Already on to A, Go Fisher. Silly is able to get 2 through mid. Keeps his life. Lucho puts him down. The second thing of progress is already locked. Ramby, there you go! Kill number 3.
Okay.
That allows them to get the extra 60. Don't worry, Ramby and I are homies. I don't actually know that. I don't think I've ever talked to him before, but I haven't watched this guy play a long time. We can give him a little bit of shade. 4-12. Doesn't make a difference when you got teammates that are 21-9, though, I'll tell you that much. With cruise missiles, winning gunfights like that. 27-22, and last wind here for the Dragons.
Yep. Now you really just want to try to force that bar spawn for the defense, and if you can get control of this area right here, which is Rex battling for it, you might be able to start to force it. Might have got a read on Desmaze down low. Lucho posted up in the corner. Hell of a double that is to make sure there isn't a full stack on the point, and well, everyone coming off of spawn able to deal with Rex and a chance to try to reestablish the defensive setup.
Smart move here from Silly, not trying to get too aggressive, try to read where this defense wants to get on towards the zone. You know they're not going to be happy trying to defend this from the back, so force them to make a play and then pick them apart.
Done.
Absolutely brilliantly done by Silly. That leads now to the first tick of progress, getting locked 22 plays 60. Very far forward trophy system as well, so Silly can stay here for even longer. Just dancing in and out. There's the 3 stack coming through. Zooner up top is going to have to find an angle, and he can't find anybody. The Dragons will fall into control round 3 very rapidly, and Fisher are up big 2-1.
Are they ever? Wow. Silly just plays that to perfection. As you just said, Alan, a lot of patience being shown, just a lot of good timings, knowing that, hey, listen, Desmaze just took shots, likely needs to finish me off, and just takes the reach out, the perfect moment, catches him on sprint, continues to go on a bit of a spree himself. So problem after problem here. The Dragons starting to run out of gas, it feels like. And, well, the last offense was not pretty. I mean, it felt like they didn't get the zone until about 10 seconds left, right? So things looking a little bit scary for them. Have to go big or they're going home.
I think Ramby just made a joke about the fact he hasn't been doing too much because everyone just looked down towards him and started laughing. So there had to have been some words exchanged right there. It's just like, thanks, guys. I'm just happy to be here. Silly on 4. Contest through early. First gunfight won by Gunzy. Oh, goodness. Not good. Not good. Full team wipe in the mix, and now the Dragons are once again pushed back into the spot.
Right away, too. I mean, they make a bold call to go to A rather than go to B. This is the problem when A doesn't work out. You don't send anyone to B. So now, pin to the back. Zooner does put together 2. Should give them at least a little bit of breathing room. Trying to get through Rex, but Rex is snapping. He's up to 28 and 11. Man's just been piecing them up left and right. 50 seconds on the clock, a chance to flood towards B, but now they have to worry about their flank.
Clock stops at 51. That's not bad. Depending, of course, you find the success here, that gives you a ton of time to recover from these early lives that you've lost. Second pick now on the way as well. Nice challenge from Aaron. Zuner also wins one down low on the low ground, so that will lead to a stack and likely the B zone. So, okay, here we go. A little bit of extra life here for the Dragons. 4 in a row for Zuner as well throughout that exchange, and the lives are back down to level. So it was like a 30 playing 24. Now it's a 22v22, and you've got window control here if you're a UONA.
Yeah, you do have a lot of players kind of lingering through mid, but last time it was really dealing with the players at the back through street side. Never really being able to fully clear it. Well, they also had the time playing against them. This time they had a minute 30. Oh, not what you want to see. Desme should have finished that one off. Silly will punish, finds the kill, and now no flank plays can come in. It's up to Aaron to try to create some space from the front.
Good help. Gunzy comes through, uses that sauna side control to get Silly out of danger. Now he slips on in towards bottom cafe. Gunzy working on the back staircase. Trophy system instantly deleted. And the Dragons will be contested here as they try to make their next approach over towards a double shell out. Zuner does get 2. Chance to move forward. Rex, next one up. Long range shots with Sarah. Good, the transfer perfect. I'm telling you, this guy is snappy. 31 and 13. And with that, Fisher start to grow their life lead and move forward defensively.
They spent all that time trying to get street control. They will deal with Rex, and you can see Ramby trying to take that exact same position, but won't push all the way forward. 11 lives here. Dragon's going to have to start to really clean it up, and more importantly, start to find some trades. Lucho again, able to put together a good first kill. Try to set up this offensive push, but Silly peaks at a great moment. He gets the comms that they're weak. Jal's out for the third, and now it's up to Lucho as well as Desmaze to try to get something done on the map.
Desmaze just has to hold his life right here. His teammates do have a free exit off the spawn. Still doable, but it's going to have to be a Herculean effort. 13 playing up against 8, 18 seconds on the clock. The triple stack up top at bar. Here comes their transition down in towards the zone. Clock will stop at 14.8, but the nades are all finding success. No trophy system down. Aaron's trying to pick apart defenders deep, but you got to turn your attention back towards the zone itself. Silly down low. Oh, what a gunfight win. Last lives here for UONA, but they're not even going to get to the zone to really kind of live them out. And Fisher will take the control, and they will 3-0 their second series.
Another 3-0 here for Fisher Esports. Man, they've had a lot of tight maps on the day, but they just refuse to lose. My goodness, man. A lot of moments. It feels so bad for the Dragons because they really did show out this weekend, man. They had a lot of great looks. They really did completely blow away expectations that were set on top of them coming in. It's just not able to get it done versus some of these top teams that just have so much built-in experience.
Yeah, absolutely the case. That's the biggest thing about it is, you know, even though Ramby has not really been competing at the same level as everybody else on this team, or at least been in the competitive circle as much this year, he still has a lot of experience from the last handful of years put together. He's going to figure it out. He's going to put himself in a position to listen to a comm and be able to convert off of that, especially when you have the trust of someone like Rex and Gunzy, who literally saw their competitive season and challengers go all the way to the end until the very last moment. So, yeah, that's a huge map from Rex, 35 and 14. How many different high streaks did he go on? He finishes on 9 in a row, but I feel like he had 5 different 4 sprees, 6 different 5 sprees. I feel like every single one of his kills was a part of a collection. It wasn't just like, here's an individual item. Everything came in 5s and 6s.
Well, the non-traded kill certainly backed that theory up, doesn't it? 31 of the 35, man. Yeah, I mean, this is something we've been seeing Rex since the very beginning, and maybe we haven't got as much of it this weekend, but if Rex is now starting to hit that form on a day like this, the most important one, that could be great for Fisher Esports to really start to roll through this lower bracket and try to get back up to the winner's bracket for grand finals. But everything coming together quite nicely here for them, man. It just feels like they can't lose, even when there's like a huge gap. There was like an 80-point gap in the hotel, Alan. You're thinking, this is it. This is how they win this series. They just clutch up, man. I don't know what it is.
Slow out the gate for sure. I don't know. But, hey, you've got yourself a little bit of breathing room now as you'll wait to see who drops into the lower finals from the upper bracket. For the University of North America, they full finish in 4th. Really, again, you have to applaud the run. I mean, this LAN was filled with a ton of repeat LAN CCL performers from last year. New Mexico State was new. University of North America was new. Everybody else was returning in one form or another. And that's a heck of a showing to come out in your first competitive year and finish 4th. not bad at all. They will walk away with a lot of money as well with that. But still, there's going to be circling moments of, man, woulda, coulda, shoulda, because this Fisher team definitely gave them a chance. But we'll see. Interview is ready for us with our main man Proper down on the floor to get the winning reactions from Fisher. We'll throw it down to him, see what he has to say.
Thank you guys so much. Wonderful cast as always. I am joined by Fisher's Dylan, Rex, and Dylan, I gotta ask, man, it's been a hell of a season out of you. I mean, from playing in Challengers, being...
Well, we'll be right back from that. Small technical issues. I'm sure Dylan had a lot of things to say about the end of his career, though. We could kind of pretend like, Dylan, what'd you think about your year?
It was, man, that's not how I wanted it to go, but I was frying all year and it was great. So, yeah, we're smoking kids and we're going to do it again today. Something like that,
something
right?
along the lines of, like, I'm him, nobody touches me. Next question. So, no, great stuff there from Fisher overall. The thing about it is now they get a chance to sit back, relax a little bit, watch to see what happens, because coming up next is our upper bracket finals between the big, heavy-hitting Northwood Esports squad and Oklahoma Christian. So that's what we got on the docket for you guys. So we'll be back with our winners finals at the backside of this break. Don't go anywhere. CCL's got only 3 teams left. We're going to crown champion here soon, right after the break.
So sorry about those technical difficulties. Sometimes batteries die, sometimes they're absolutely thriving in life. But we are back with the winner from that previous matchup down in the lower semifinals. My name is Proper, and I am joined with Fisher College's Dylan Rex. And before we were so rudely interrupted by a dead battery, I was asking you about the summarization of your entire year so far. Statistical player off the charts throughout the multitude of all challengers elites. You're leading a lot of these different lobbies as far as KDs are concerned. How would you summarize your entire year so far?
I just felt like I had a lot to prove this year, especially how last year ended. And I just came in this year just grinding, and I upgraded my PC, and honestly ever since then I just felt my flow and everything, and just I don't know, everything just comes natural. I think it's just about finding the right team, and especially with my main team with Pierce. He just it was really easy playing with him because he would just calm everything, and I could just focus on my gunfights, and that's what I'm best at.
Yeah, I think all of us can definitely agree that you are one of the best at not only winning, but also egotistically winning those gunfights as well. And with all that said as well, it's a perfect segue because you talk about your Challengers team. That perfectly segues us into your collegiate team, Fisher College. I mean, #1 seed on through so many different charts. You're taking down players and teams left, right, and center. You find yourself in the lower bracket, but you're joined in great company. You have a world champion. Gunsy's also on this team. You have an S&D superstar, and then yourself as well. How does it feel not only to represent the college, but also play with some of the best that we have here in the league?
I think it's a great group of guys to play with. They're all funny. They're all easy to vibe with, and I don't know. It's just really fun to play with them.
And just got done winning in that matchup versus the Dragons out of University of North America. You have one, if not potentially 2 more matches left. I'm sure you're going to be watching this winners finals match pretty intently, along with the rest of the team, getting prepared. Who do you want to face?
I don't think it matters. I feel like it just comes down to us winning our S&Ds. Last night we got Nesloed. We lost 2 S&Ds and a control. We started slowing that control. If we start out better, and I honestly felt like it was just a lack of preparation in that control. We didn't really know what we wanted to do on that map. And then today, I don't know, the map feels great, and that's why I just went off and had 35 kills in that last control. So I feel like the more we play, the better we are. And it's going to come down to our S&Ds.
More time spent together. Gunsy said the same thing earlier. Rex would also agree. From last night into this very moment of time, the preparation has been absolutely pristine. We're going to throw things to another short break. When we get back, winners finals will be on the horizon. Go ahead and get yourself hydrated, get some snacks. Rex, thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break.